All right, welcome back to Phantom X Gaming. We are back in Kerbal Space Program after a little bit of a break. There were some updates to some of the mods, and it was very devastating to the entire existence of the game. So I had to spend a little bit of time, okay, a lot of time, trying to figure out what was going on, where, how, why, and when, and get it all fixed and situated. And in doing so, I may or may not have downloaded a few extra mods in the process. So we'll talk about that part later. But in the meantime, I think today is a good time to go check out Joule. So we're going to jump into the vehicle assembly building, build a rocket, and get out there and see what happens. I need to test whether the Kraken likes 6.7 if it, oh, come on now. Come on now. You think it'll beat him for sure? I don't know about that. I think it'll beat me faster than it'll beat the Kraken. That's more likely to happen. Just put a flag on the rocket that says 6.7. I don't know about that one. I think that would definitely defeat me far faster than it would defeat the Kraken. So we're gonna start by building a re-entry slash return vehicle. So I'm gonna bring that up a little higher because I kind of want to build this in a manner that is completely 100% unrealistic and chaotic, and see what we can do with it. Really push the boundaries of it. So we have this cab here. It holds 15 crew. I don't know if we're gonna put 15 on. We might put 15 on. But then we gotta go with the utility and jump down here and see if we can find a decent parachute. Actually, before we do that, we're gonna do this the right way. We're gonna go payload, and we're gonna do a fairing. That's not big enough. That's too big. Maybe that one? Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna just do that for now. And we're gonna put a parachute because I know re-entry is going to be devastating to the chutes. So I'd rather not break it completely. I don't know if that's gonna be enough of a chute, but we'll find out. Build fairing. Come on, build fairing. Thank you. We're gonna go up, over, and close. There. We have our parachute. That's like 9/10 of it, right? Alright, so we're gonna go with a fuel tank next. Actually, before we do that, yeah, we're gonna go with a fuel tank. We're gonna do something nice and decent-ish. And we're gonna put an engine. We're gonna do the big engine on this. Come on, let me have it. Thank you. And that will be the first part of it. But before we can go any further on this, we have to do a little thing. I figured out with this particular rocket system, this is part of a mod, and it will basically destroy itself on separation. So I found a little bit of a trick I can use. If I go down here to, that's a 2 meter, it's still a little bit too big. There's got to be something smaller in here. That might be the smallest one. Nope, it's not. 0.5 meter. Go here, right click, and scale this way up. And we're gonna put it there, and use the move tool, and move it way up inside. That should be reasonable. No, that's not reasonable. Let's do one more. That might work. We're gonna have to test this before we go any further with it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 9 engines on this one. There are 8 around the edge, and then one bigger one in the middle there. It's got a huge amount of thrust. Come on, let me have it. Let's see. The thrust is 9,400 and 11,500, so it's huge. So it'll work really well for re-entry, especially with Joule being kind of not really that hard to get into the atmosphere. And there should be enough fuel in here, liquid fuel 32,000. That should be enough to do everything we need it to do. If not, well, I mean, I guess there are rescue missions. So now we're gonna stage this out by putting, let's see here. How do I remember doing this? Oh yeah, I don't remember doing this. So let's see. Why don't we... Yeah, we're gonna use a coupling, and I kind of want to use my preferred one, but if we do that, we have to scale this up a lot more. Not that much. Okay, maybe right around... I guess that will work right there. And that looks like it's in a decent position and shouldn't cause any issues, possibly. The force percent is 0.5. Thrust limiter, we're gonna go... we're gonna go... right around there. And then solid fuel, we're not gonna leave a whole lot in there. So we don't need to do a whole lot other than just get it away from the rocket. So now that that's there, I need to add in what I didn't remember. And that is, pull that down, go to Command and Control, an SAS. We definitely need that. And that needs to be on SAS only. And just because I can and no one's saying no, we're going to put a second one on. And set that to that, put that there, scale this back down. Why is it way over there? That was weird. I feel like this isn't quite lined up properly, but we're going to leave it as is. And hope that works. So we're going to want to put another fuel tank. Actually, before we put a fuel tank, I should also put... Not that. There we go. Another reaction wheel here. Put that on SAS. And another one right there. Put that also on SAS. That way we're not spending 5 minutes just maneuvering to a maneuver position. That takes too long, and I don't have that kind of patience. So now we're going to put a bigger fuel tank on. We're going to scale that down to where it needs to be. And maybe just for good luck, we'll put a second one. And maybe a third one. And maybe we should stage these out. Possibly. Nah. What could go wrong? Let's see. So that's 8,000 and 9,000. This is 9,000 and 11,000. We're going to use that one. And in theory, we should probably fix our staging real quick, just so I don't forget and catch myself off guard. So add another one here. That's for that, so that can go there. That's for later. And then the parachute can go right here, and that can go up. There we go. So there's the top stage. Now this separation should be there. And then down the bottom here, we should have our engine. Now our thrust to weight is at 1.31, which isn't that bad. But this is me we're talking about. We got to go a little bit bigger. This is a pretty straightforward rocket, and I think I should probably have a lot more for parachutes. Nah. Nothing could possibly go wrong with that. So we're going to go over to the coupling, go down to my preferred staging system here, wherever it happened to have ended up in this massive list of staging and various other things, including this mailbox. It's a sub-satellite dispenser. Don't know what it's for, but sure, why not? It's a mailbox. So somewhere in here is another coupling. Let me sort by size. Smallest to largest. Here's one of them. That's not the one I'm looking for, though. In theory, possibly, hopefully, we will run into the one that I am looking for. Yeah, sure. It is not here. That is bothersome is probably here, and I'm just overlooking it. If you guys see it, let me know. I'm not entirely sure you guys know which one I'm talking about, but if you've watched my other lives and videos, you'll definitely notice it being a very consistent coupling that I use for the side. There it is. No, that's not. There it is, right there. Here it is. Got it. So we're going to scale this up to unrealistic levels. And we're going to slap that right there. Right there. Now, we want that. Got to zoom out so we can see where the rest of the rocket is. There's the front. And there's the side. We'll stick that right there. That should be decent. And then we're gonna build out a second system here. The question is, what do we want to use? Could use just about anything. Let's sort by size. Biggest at the top. Kind of want to go with these. Because these scale really nicely, but that's not really... not quite big enough. Is that centered right? That's centered close enough. So I could just use those again, but no, I think I will use this one. Huge amount of fuel. I'll be staging it out without draining it. More than likely, anyways. That is crooked. Why is that crooked? Is it just this one that's crooked? Come on. Get in there. Oh, screwed it up. Come on. Nope. Get on there. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. I mean, it's close enough. Possibly. Hopefully. That's just going to be crooked, and if you have OCD, I'm sorry. I can't figure that out. And I would prefer not taking 2 hours to do. Actually, maybe I should use these. Would that work better? Would that scale right? Actually, that might scale pretty well. How much fuel does that have? Can't tell because it's overlapping. That has a decent amount of fuel. I might just use that. That actually scales nicely. That is way too high, so I'll move that down for sure. Let's see. So there's that. Maybe I do that. That's a huge amount of fuel. That'll basically get us anywhere in space for sure. Alright, so now I need an engine. So I'm going to... I might just use this one because it's really not a bad engine. It's really powerful, and it works really well. And I kind of like it too. So there's that part. So we're going to use this to get to space. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to screw that up. I'm going to put that right over here, possibly. And hope for the best while I go like that. Yeah, that's a good place for it. Now, we definitely need aerodynamics. So we're going to have to put... I didn't think about power. Whoops. I'll figure it out later. Aerodynamics. Here we go. That's not the one I want. That's the one I want. Okay, so now our thrust to weight is very high. So I'm actually going to put these on its own stage. And we're at 1.5. So that'll get us into orbit and in a decent position. And what I should do before this engine here is take this down and put another reaction wheel to there. Bring that to there. Put that right there. Bring that down. Make sure that's there. And then right here, bring this down. Stick this. Bring that up. Bring that down. Set that to SAS. And that looks like a halfway decent makeshift rocket that may or may not invite the Kraken to come play. We'll find out, I guess. That's for sure. So we have to test this, but at the same time, I kind of want to just go for it. And it's a long way to Joule. But what do you guys think? Should we do it? I think we'll do it. Might not be in any way stable, but you know. Anything else? Oh yeah, power. We need all of the powers. How much power does this have? Reaction wheel is set to that. 3,200. That's not enough power. So we're gonna move this down. And we're gonna add in... That's a tiny little thing. Come on, let me have it. Let me have it. Not that, that. There we go. Bring that up, and that gives us 47,407, which should be enough, and I'm really hoping that did not screw up all of my stuff here. Add that there, put that right there. Staging should be okay-ish. Now let's see, power generation is the next thing. So because these work so well and I don't have to think about them, I'm going to use these. I'm going to stick that there. I'm going to scale that up. And I'm going to stick this here. And I'm going to stick this here. That should generate enough power for us. Right, this is a decent rocket. Let's check out the crew. Alright, so we have pretty much everyone. However, there's one person that definitely needs to be here that isn't here. We're going to take that one out, and we're going to find in this mess of Kerbals. Where is he? Where did he go? I do not see Lizard. Somewhere in here, unless he's already in the list, and I just didn't see. No. So we're gonna go up the list here and just double check before we where is he? I don't see him, so we're just gonna stick Hardtop back in there. And we're gonna go for it. Switch back to the build. I think I have everything. If I don't, then I guess we'll find out when we're in space. And while we're waiting for this to load, don't forget to hit the subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like. The like and the subscribe both help push this video to other people. It may not seem like it matters, but it really does matter, and I do genuinely care. And something broke. Something really broke. What broke? Turn that on, turn that on. What am I leaving behind? Let's go ahead and activate those. I am leaving my primary engine behind. We're going to go ahead and revert that flight to assembly and figure out why my engine just got left behind. You just hit the like? I appreciate that. So we got to figure out why this engine just got left behind. I wonder if I move these down a bit if that would help. Because we can't be leaving engines behind. We kind of need those. Let's try that. Let's see. And if you do have a question, write it in all caps, just because it's easier for me to see on a smaller screen over on the side there. Alright, so. Nothing broke so far. Doesn't look like it's gonna, do anything bad. Go to about there and go for it. Oh, uh-oh. I think something might have happened. So that's not good. Let's see if this parachute works, because, I mean, now we have the opportunity to test it. Gonna speed up time here a little bit. No idea if this parachute's going to do anything for me. Maybe, possibly, I might be able to land this. Well, they're still alive. They're still alive. They're good. Nothing bad happened at all. Go ahead and recover that, and then try this again. And this time, I will not time warp, because I'm pretty sure that was the cause of that. So we have a baby Kraken, a self-caused Kraken. We have a storm rolling in too. So just for the heck of it, we're just gonna add some struts. Not that they're gonna do a whole lot for me, but we're gonna try it anyways. Just to kind of hold everything together. Quick ones, I'm not worried about how they look. I just want to get this back out there. And that seemed to have been an issue, but we're gonna try it again anyways. Come on. We're not even a half hour in, and I've already blown one rocket up. Let's see if I can keep it at one. The thunder says otherwise. Hey, how are you, DT? We are flying directly towards the sun, apparently. Land on the sun? I have tried that. It does not work very well. It definitely does not work very well. Usually by the time you're, within a reasonable orbit level, you burn up. Even if you turn heating off, you tend to burn up. I'm not entirely sure with heating turned off how that happens, but it does happen. That could be something we do tomorrow, during tomorrow's live. Tomorrow's live will be a little bit later than today, possibly, depending on the weather. So whenever I'm done with the horses, I'll get everything situated. Hopefully it'll be around 8 o'clock like I usually do. But if the weather cooperates, then I'll be working with the horses a little bit later than normal. Alright, we have reached the edge of space. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the engines. Use water cooling in good RTX 5090. I mean, I could try. Oh. I think something happened to the rocket. In fact, I think something really bad happened to the rocket. So there's that. Now, I wonder where in the staging something happens to work. Does this work? Nope. And does that separate? Oh. And there goes that engine. Alright. Well, there's that. Okay, bye. To the rest of my rocket. This is why we test. Let me rephrase. This is why I spend an entire week testing one specific rocket until it works flawlessly every time. However, I stopped doing that just because, a little more fun to, test it out here. And I did not mean to stage my parachute, so we're going to find out what that does for us. Come on, catch back up. Tell the Kerbal guy to use his special powers to fly it. That's usually Jebediah's job, but he is MIA right now. I have no idea where he is or what planet he's stranded on. I think the last time I stranded him somewhere, or he stranded himself, was on Duna. Uh-oh, this isn't gonna work. we're gonna go ahead and say that never happened. So let's see, somewhere something happened that shouldn't have happened. I staged out here and it broke. So I wonder if I go away in here. Come on, let me in here. Let me have this. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this. There we go. You go back there. Then you go here. You increase in size to there. And then we'll bring this up into here. I think it's about right there that's gonna have to do. And we'll make it work. Scale that back down to 5. Make the fuel tank 3 centimeters tall and a massive engine with 3 billion tons of thrust. I have built rockets that have had way more thrust than they should legally be allowed to have. So you want me to reach Sagittarius A in 4 seconds? I mean, that's something else we could try tomorrow, because, I mean, technically, Kerbal is the unofficial name of the sun, and that's essentially a Sagittarius. However, I think it'll take a lot more than 4 seconds to reach, because the physics engine itself that limits the game does not have the ability to accelerate to the speed of light. However, it's something I would definitely be willing to try, that's for sure. So we're gonna leave that like that. It looks a little weird, but I kind of want to figure out what happened here, because that's kind of an important part of it. In fact, what I'll do is I'll launch, and I will stage the third engine, the primary engine for interstellar travel, or interplanetary travel rather, with the rest of the boosters. There's that storm again. Where is that storm? That is over there. It's a loud storm. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring this engine down to this stage. Run that up, go like that, do that. Is Phantom X cool or cool? I think that's up to you guys. Am I cool or am I cool? Let me know in the chat. So far, nothing is broken on our weird rocket. I still haven't moved away from launching it at the sun. Hey, appreciate it, brother. Still nothing broken. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out so I can actually see where everything is. I'm gonna lower my thrust and keep my G-force down in the green. And maybe that will make a difference in not destroying the rocket. Hopefully. You never really know. I think the Kraken is definitely hanging around and playing games. Gonna keep the thrust to weight ratio at about 1.5 or lower. Things seem to be moving around a little bit, kinda, sort of. If you look real close, you can see it kind of moving. We are in space. So I'm going to slowly bring down the thrusters. And something broke. Why is something broken? Where is something broken? Ah, all of that broke somewhere. We'll get rid of that. Let's see if we can't stage this out. There we go. Oh. What broke? Okay, at least not the engine. So that stuff is kind of just going to do its thing. And we're going to try to get to... Where did we say? Joule? I'm going to add a maneuver. We're going to circularize. Speed up to there. Oops, wrong button. There we go. We're going to go ahead and adjust to the maneuver. Ah, it happens nice and quick now. So we are just about there. Burn time is 21 seconds, and that's close enough. So let's go ahead and bring our throttle up slowly. I have no idea how much we're going to be able to use. Or how far we're going to be able to go, rather. We may very well have to just get rid of the boosters and go with the straight rocket. We're going to find out. Give me the last little bit. There we go. Jump over to the map real quick. Okay. All the way. Wait. I didn't quite see where it was. Where is Joule? Way out there. On the other side of the sun. Okay. We got this. So I'm going to add a maneuver. Come on, let me in. Let me do it. I'm going to add a maneuver to the periapsis because that uses the Oberth effect. I'm going to drag this out until we get our escape. It's only 7 seconds of burn time, so that's doable. Jump over to there, hit that button. "10 minutes out. There we go. I feel like that's almost close enough. Speed up a little bit. Yep. Too fast, too far. Not a long burn, but... Oop. Stop, 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 stop. There we go. There, now I'm exiting. We're going to go ahead and warp to there. Oh, get rid of that. Go ahead and warp to there. Maybe we'll do a quick flyby of Joule and then see if we can't make it back, because we don't have a whole lot of fuel and I don't want to strand 15 Kerbals. And we're gonna warp to there. There we go. Oops. Come on. I'm gonna have to go to the tracking station to figure this one out. Where am I? How am I where I am? That's the real question. Is it this one? Okay, so I am going around. Oh, something happened. I think the Kraken is messing with the game, that is for sure. So we're gonna leave that there. Let them do their thing, and we're gonna try this one more time. I'll probably get a copyright claim for that music that was playing, because that was supposed to be taken out of the library. That's okay, though. Not too worried about that. Alright, let's get rid of this. And this has a thrust weight of 1.22. Let's see what we can do with that. So I feel like that might actually work better for us. Come on. And something broke. Ah, the engine fell off again. We're gonna have to elevate that. For some reason, those engines just don't like to stay on. I wonder. I'll just raise the rocket off the ground with the structurals. Wait, what do we have here? Haha, launch tower. We're gonna go with 3 of them. We're gonna put them right there. And if we do 3 of them, we have to do at least 3 of these. And those are staged here. And this has to be staged here. There we go. Let's see what this does. Oh, something bad happened. Something really bad just happened. Game froze. Bad, really bad, really bad. Stage everything. Just stage everything. Shoots. Nope. Don't bounce. Fall nicely. Oh. Well, that happened. I don't think that's in one piece anymore. We're gonna recover that and pretend that didn't happen either. So I wonder if I take out a section of fuel, if this will actually work. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Take this over to here. Let's take this section of fuel out. Put that right there. Maybe we leave it big. 3.22. I mean, we could... 1.61. We could try that. See what that does. I wish the load time to go from place to place was a little bit quicker, but I have so many mods running that it takes a while for it to figure itself out. So nothing blew up yet. So raise that up to there. And we're off and not blowing up yet. That's better. Oh, okay. Well, there's that. Okay, bye. I didn't need that stage anyways, but I needed the stage that fell off with you. I feel like the thrust to weight ratio is what's really starting to kill me because I'm not paying attention to the G-force there. So there's that. We're going to go ahead and fast forward this up and then down. Let that do its thing and enter. So enter the atmosphere. You think it's GPU fail? So, the biggest issue with, well, at least we didn't explode the main capsule. The biggest issue with the physics engine of this game is it was built in like 2015. So I don't think they kept up with the updates on the physics engine. So in a lot of cases, and this is a modded rocket, uh, in a lot of cases, it can't really hold itself up. Like I could go into like here, I can go into this and say load this one. Completely stock. Uh, and this will probably work pretty well. Come on, load for me. Don't prove me wrong. And I have something like 90 mods. Changing just under 72,000 things in the game. Alright, so let's see here. I'm gonna engine up and go for it. Yeah, so this is gonna work more than likely. Cut those off, go over here, find where this is. Circularize. Oh, wrong button. There we go. We're gonna just let this do its thing to circularize. That way we don't chance anything. We have a decent amount of fuel, so I'm pretty sure this rocket, built with all stock parts, should be able to go pretty far. That's that. That's that. So we're actually going to bring this down to here. And before we do our maneuver. We're going to stage that out. That's our emergency escape system. I should pay attention to this too, because monopropellant is being used. It's a very long burn. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I might be in trouble. Is it even circularizing? Mostly. Extremely long burn. But I think this can actually get us at least to do a low orbit around Joule and back. Maybe I'll burn a little bit more. There we go. So now that that's done, add maneuver. I might do this in 2 burns. Just to make sure that we really use the O-berth effect to get out of here using less fuel. We've burned half of our fuel to get into orbit, but we should be okay. Possibly. We'll find out, I guess. As soon as we line up to where we need to be. Close enough. Fast forward. Of course, most of my maneuvers are done on the dark side of whatever planet body that I am orbiting. I'm going to fast forward time just a little bit more here. That should actually be enough to get a decent O-berth effect. So I will add a maneuver here and bring it out just a little bit further. Yeah, so to get to there is only about 15 seconds, so I'll get it past the mun. There we go, that's a lot better. And we'll fast forward to there. Let that balance out a little bit. And close enough. There we go. And then one more time should get us out. There we go. Get ourselves over to our maneuver position. Which is apparently very far away. I enjoy the fact that every maneuver I make is always on the dark side of a planet. So it's really hard to see for myself, but it's also really hard for you guys to see because once YouTube does its thing, it makes it a lot darker. So I can't imagine what you guys are looking at. I know what I'm looking at, and it's really difficult to see. I know at one point I tried putting a bunch of lights on my spacecraft, but that didn't actually do a whole lot for me. So we're almost there. We are really going through our monopropellant. That is for sure. What is going on? Why is it way over there now? Am I... Yeah, no, I'm high enough. Let's go ahead and time warp over to it. Maybe it can... straighten itself out somehow. That's a weird line. Why am I... There we go. That looks better. Well, it almost looks better. Now, I'm not sure why it's pointing me straight at Kerbin, but we should have started our burn by now, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Periaps is at 42,000. Ooh, I might not make that. I might not make that at all. So we're gonna go prograde. Just use a little bit of fuel to burn around, so I'm going the right direction. There we go. Alright, let's see what happens with this as we time warp to what could be our destruction. On the dark side of the planet, of course. And we have lost our orbit. We're gonna go ahead and slow down time and check the map to see what we are looking at. We're still at 41,000. So I think it's really gonna fling us out there. We don't seem to be losing altitude for the most part. but I don't like the fact that it's getting me really close to the planet and well below space. And the notorious freeze. There we go. Alright, so we didn't crash. Fortunately. I was definitely concerned about that. I was basically expecting it. But it looks like we are good to head out to space. Warp to here. We're going to see how far this stock rocket can get us. And see if the rockets I've been building are pointless or not. You never really know. There we go, that was weird. Warp to there, and let's see if I can get a copyright strike with the music that shouldn't be playing. There we go, we are in space. Well, we're almost in space, we're 34 seconds out. Almost in orbit around the sun, anyways. There we go. This is a very long burn, but we have a Joule encounter. I should probably slow it down just a little bit, just so I don't go past it. Looks like we have Joule encounter, Joule escape. If I increase that a little bit, it gives me a little bit more to work with. Close enough. I accept. Let's warp to here. Better than 500 and some odd years, that's for sure. 517 years. Get rid of the alarm clock. Warp to the initial encounter so I can circularize. There we go. 1 minute 14 seconds. I'll fast forward until I get that. There it is. We have our Joule encounter. Add maneuver there. Circularize. I got this encounter purely by absolute chance, but at least I got the encounter. I probably won't be able to do that twice. We're just going to wait until this gets into the right position. Again, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. It helps me out. It's free to do, and it does actually mean a lot to me. There we go. We're wobbling our way into the right position there. We're going to fast forward the 4 days. We don't have to wait 4 actual days. It's not a very long burn. There's a lot going on over at Joule. And we're going to bring our periapsis down quite a bit. Hey Cam, how are you? Long time no see. You didn't know you didn't miss it. We have a decent amount of time left. Yeah, so I decided to do a jewel trip. The first portion of the stream was trying to figure out why the Kraken was fighting so hard to keep it from happening. We're gonna bring the periapsis down a huge amount just because I don't want to have to do it again. But the Kraken did show up. Ooh, and I just lost it. I did the bad things. I did all of the bad things. Get rid of that. Add maneuver. Circularize. Move to there. But yeah, no, I thought the Kraken was gone. I spent, almost 2 weeks fighting it and trying to make everything work, trying to figure out what mod broke what, where, how, why, when, and why. And I thought I had it working, but a lot of stuff happened. Heck of a lot of stuff happened. You'll have to go back and check that out in the beginning, after this is done. And that being said, I think I should be able to actually get a few good shorts out of this. Maybe even do another kind of short movie type of deal, like I've been doing. How do you guys like those, by the way? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. Each one of those takes an average of about 5 hours to make. And it's not for lack of knowledge on how to do it. It's more uh, every little detail of it I'm going through and making sure it's perfect. There we go. We got our orbit back here, so we're gonna jump over to the periapsis, add maneuver, circularize, and bring that down even further to here. It's a good variety. Yeah, I think so. I like to put as much effort and detail into the actual shorts that I manually make. In some cases, I do use AI tools to cut up my streams into little shorts if I don't have a whole lot of time for it. But when I do have the time to actually sit down, plan out, record, and edit a really good short, it usually takes 5 to 7 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward to our maneuver point, which is over a year away apparently. And the rocket I am using was just a kind of a proof of concept to see if it would actually cause any issues. It's a completely stock vessel, and it looks like that. This is our stock rocket. It had so much fuel in it that I'm still using the initial fuel, and I haven't staged out yet. I should do more Phasmophobia videos and streams. You just got back into it. Yeah, so I have a very large backlog of videos uh, of the Phasmophobia videos, and we're working on trying to get them out. My editor has been working overtime on trying to get everything situated with those, so I will be doing more. I do want to record more. I just need more people that don't have bad language. That's the key factor for recording with me and streaming with me is there could be zero foul language. We're going to go ahead and start our burn now and bring that way down. I think I'm going to go just a little bit further. Right about there. And then we're going to jump over to here, add maneuver to circularize. I'll actually bring it down even further to there. So our periaps is at 43,878,997 meters. That is really far away still. No cussing is your way to go to. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, does it almost looks like a Saturn V. It almost is. It kinda sorta worked out that way. But it's all stock parts. Yeah, see, for me, if you're constantly using foul language and it's just every other word out of your mouth is a swear, all that tells me is you have lower than average intelligence and just can't use actual words and you have to use foul language as fillers. You know, that's what it looks like to me. Like if you can't use clean language and you have to swear to be able to add more to your sentence, then get educated at that point. I mean, you know, stop being, it's not cool. It's just not cool. Yeah, and I do have a lot of people around me that don't have the greatest of language, and I'll say the same thing to them. You know, you don't need to swear to get a point across. So it looks like we are 270 or no, 212 days away from our maneuver. So we're going to fast forward that. I'm not going to spend 212 days sitting here waiting for that to go through. We're 3 minutes out now. It's a 25-second burn. I have 186 seconds of Delta V left. There's still a lot of Delta V in the initial stage of this rocket. So that was way more than we really needed. But if I can get super low into Joule and still not stage this, I will set it up so I can just dump it into Joule. And then I'll use the second stage to get back. There are way better ways to express exclamation other than cussing. Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of ways. What moon am I going to? I'm actually just gonna do a low Joule orbit, and then head back to Kerbin if there's time, because I do have another super early day tomorrow morning working with the horses. So we're going to go over here. I think we're just about there, 2 minutes out. I'm going to fast forward again just a little bit. It's going to fast forward really slow for me. And then I'm going to manually fast forward a little bit. There we go. And burn. Now, I haven't been to Joule in a really long time, so I can't remember where the atmosphere starts, if it even has one at this point. It's been that long since I've been there. So I have no idea how low I can go. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see how low we can get. Oh, that was weird. Didn't see that coming. And we're gonna go ahead and swing that around to there. No, we're not. We're going to get rid of that. We don't need that anymore. Add maneuver. There we go. And circularize. So we're nice and close. Now we're going to... Come on. Let me do it. There we go. We're going to let this move itself around. There's Jewel. I knew it was around here somewhere. The other reason I'm going to Jewel is because I like some of the music associated with it. And the best way, and this is not advice, the best way that I've found to figure out if it's music that I can get away with using is just do it and see if I get any copyright claims. Now, going from Carbon to over here, I will definitely get a copyright claim because there's a song that was playing that should not have been there. I deleted it and somehow it's back. So I'll probably just, you know, instead of sitting there editing all of that music out and using like crazy software to do so, I'll just delete that section of video just to get rid of that claim and then wait and see if there's any other claims. And a lot of the music that I have for KSP right now is royalty free, it's license free, and in some cases you just give credit to the author. The author of the mod doesn't want any credit, but I give it to him anyways. But a lot of times with the copyright claim system, it will hear a certain style of music. It'll hear like a certain, like, it'll go as far as a single note in a song sounds like a single note that could have been in something else that's copywritten, and then it'll just put the claim through and send it to the claimant, and then they'll have to review it, and they have 30 days to review it. If they don't do anything about it within those 30 days, or if they just let it ride out for like most of the time before canceling it, or or submitting yes that is in fact their music, then you know, it can be kind of a pain. Jewel looks good with visual mods. Yeah, it does. Oh yeah, that's the other reason I wanted to go here. Yeah, copyright can be weird. It can be really weird, but is what it is. Oop, that was weird. Where'd it go? Oh, geez. Okay, that is much closer than I remember. Alright, so we have a minute and a half till our node and 42-second burn, so I'm going to go ahead and burn down to like 50-ish. Okay, too quick, too quick. There we go, just in time. And we're going to burn. Yeah, so that's why I just kind of do what I do, and if there's a claim, I'll review it myself. I'll use AI to review it, and then I'll have other people review it, just to be sure that it isn't, in fact, what they claim it is. And in some cases, if it's completely blatantly different than what they're claiming it is, I'll just rickroll them. In the place that it says to put your licensing, I'll just put a rickroll link. There we go. We have our nice close orbit. I still don't remember how close I can get, so I'm going to keep going. Classic rickroll. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy using it because either A, they're going to find it funny, or B, it's going to infuriate them, and then they're going to have lack of judgment moments that are going to get them in trouble. So it's a win-win for me either way. So we're going to go ahead and add a maneuver to the periapsis, and we're going to bring this down even closer. I can't remember how close I can get, so we're just going to go for it. Let's bring it down to 2 million. Okay, 1.89. That works too. We're gonna go ahead and flip that around over there. We still have 111 seconds of fuel. We have 22 seconds burn that we're gonna go through. So we're gonna very slowly make our way over to there. I wonder if this will help. Yeah, I guess it will. I mean, it's gonna screw up a little bit, but that's okay. There we go. I'll let that ride out just a little bit. What did it do to our... nothing really to note. I accept. Fast forward. Using the main engines as RCS is a classic. Yeah, I mean, it works. I have the fuel. I may as well use it. And as always, all of my maneuvers, especially close to planets, is always on the dark side. But the sun's coming up a little bit over there. This is pretty far away from the sun, so it's not terrible. But the glow of the planet is actually really cool. So we are a little ways out. I'm going to fast forward just a little bit and then do that. Yeah, the purple glow is really nice. Now, I could do without the sun flare right there. But I can also do that. Oh, like there. There we go. Now let's go. Oh, I am past my burn time. I was busy playing with the lighting. There we go. Perfect-ish. So then we're going to jump over to our periapsis add maneuver and circularize. I still have no idea how close we can get. But if we don't get dragged in at 1.8 million, I mean, I guess I could really pull it in. Oh, no, that's too far. That's in the planet. Go back out. 135,000 meters. Let's bring it up to 200,000. Okay, 300,000 works too. So we're going to use that maneuver there. And see what that does for us. We still have 87 seconds of fuel of Delta V left. Jeweler Eclipse. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, I could get into a proper orbit, and I could probably just fast forward until we see one. Or multiple. I feel like this is going to be way too close. But that's okay. I can probably burn retro and land, if anything. Not that you can really land on a gas planet, but you know. What am I waiting for? Oh yeah, I'm waiting for this to figure itself out. It's just kind of dancing around. And I think after I make this burn, I'm going to drop the stage and then get back out to my orbit. If you go that close, you would do it at the bright side so you can get a good view before you die. I mean, that's basically what I'll end up doing, but you know, everything I do ends up on the dark side, but by the time we get around to all of this, it's probably going to be the light side. There we go. And I don't have to be exact about it. I can start my burn now. probably get away with right about, let's say, that's good. Right there. 500,000 meters. Hopefully, we'll be okay. However, the green glow on the rocket tells me that we're a little close. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take a screenshot. And I'm going to do it this way. Just so it goes to a specific place. Pay no attention to the mods that I am running in the background. Unless, of course, you want a mod, then you can, you know. It is really cool with the graphics, or the visual enhancements. So now, I think what I will do... Oh, there's a storm over there. You know what? Oh, this is a terrible idea, and I'm doing it anyways. Add maneuver. I'm going to see how close to the storm I can get. And just to make sure that we don't get in trouble in the process. There we go. We're going to go right over the storm. Well, mostly over the storm. That's close enough to over the storm. And if the storm changes positions, then I'll have questions. Even though it's probably going to change positions. Because we are warping around and doing things. Yeah, it's just going to keep circling around. I'm willing to bet at some point I can get a pass over. Let this ride over here at 55 seconds. And I'm using 53. So that's about when I'll stage this out. Actually, if I do it right, I can get rid of this. Let's see what fast forwarding time does for me. Just make sure my altitude doesn't, or my periapsis doesn't change. Yeah, so we get pretty close. I'm just gonna fast forward until the storm is where I need it to be. I don't even know where it is anymore. Add maneuver and circularize. Nice and close. Did I know that BlackRock, the maker of volumetric clouds and scatterer and many more visual mods, helped make Kitten Space Agency? Yes, I did. And I think he's continuing to work on that. I haven't seen a whole lot for his visual mods lately, so he's probably putting a lot of his time into Kitten Space Agency, which I will check out as soon as I can. there are benchmarks that I use to determine if a game is ready for me to make a video on it or do a live on it. I want to make sure that I'm not spending all of my time troubleshooting or redoing things because something broke that shouldn't have broken. I want to be able to get a relatively smooth experience before I make any videos. That's about close enough. We're going to continue the fast forward until we get our storm back. Ah, we have a couple eclipses. That's pretty cool. That is really cool. I wonder if I... No, I'm way over there. I wonder if I go warp to here. Warp to here. No, they're gone by now. There we go. We are... Ooh, there was some lightning there, and lightning there, and lightning there, there. I think there's a massive storm going on. So there's that massive storm there. Kind of want to fly in it, but... I feel like if I tried to right now, then this live would go on for another 4 hours as I redo the whole thing because I ended up crashing. Lightning here, there, and everywhere. Yes, it is definitely a stormy planet. This is the closest to Joule I've been in a while. Oh, I'm thinking like a decade. Right, but what I can do is I can go ahead and stage this out. We're going to stage out. Get away from there. Because all of this is useless now. In theory, orbital decay will kick in and all of this will go away. Actually, that right there is a good screenshot, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. I'm just trying to think of thumbnails to use for this. I'm using different ones from different things for different reasons, but this is actually really cool. I could almost just leave this sit just like this and orbit the planet for 24 hours and probably get a lot of people watching it just for the view. It's usually when I start talking that people disappear. Right, so now the real question is, how does a cinematic look? That's not terrible. Imagine living in a space station that close to Joule. That would be very cool. You know, when you look out your window in the morning, or whatever morning is, and or whenever you wake up, and this is what you see. You know, that's pretty cool. However, I will say that based on the way eyes work, I feel like looking at green 24/7 for like a year straight would cause you to have some serious eye damage. There's a massive storm there. So we have Helfrid, Rahat, and Milan Kerman as our crew for this vessel. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here. What do I have to stage? Sure, why not? So this is what we have. Alright. Is that a satellite? That's a satellite. Yeah, it is. It is a probe. I don't remember. What was on this one, or I didn't until I just saw it. I don't remember half the staging, but that's okay. We're using it. It will work. So we're just gonna kind of give this a second to float around a little bit, because I have some ideas for a video. Extra thing to use in the stream. Yes, it is. That is for sure. But I don't want to expel this fuel, because that's, I'm sure, what will happen. Yeah, so this will stage out and kick all of this out. This looks like it's manned as well. Maybe not. No. However, my question is, how does this work? That's an engine. So this stages there. Okay, so that is that. That stage, so why is this stage before this stage? So it'll stage that out and just be gone. And that can stage, so go ahead and decouple. Swing around to retro. So this can pop away. And this will just kind of exist out here for now, and we'll think of something to do with it. It's a lander. So kind of kick that out. I'll switch around to prograde. So have plenty of electric charge. You want to see if I can go lower? I mean, we can. We definitely could. How low do you think I can go without getting dragged in by the gravity? Because I don't know if I can get too much lower without it really hurting, and I only have a thrust to weight ratio of 1.24. So let's see if we can drag this down. So add maneuver. To start, we're gonna bring this down to here, because it's much easier to work with. That's a 4-minute burn time. There's not enough fuel for that. Add maneuver. And bring it down lower. Oh, I lost it. Expand back out. 91,000. So we're gonna go for it. It's only a 12-second burn. I feel like 91,000 is very similar to Kerbin. It seems to be a semi-viable altitude. However, we're about to find out. Let's see, 12-second burn, 50 seconds away. Where is the planet? Oh, there's the planet. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Oh, you can see the lightning still. That's pretty cool too. Here, we'll start our burn now. Ah, nope. we just went way too low. So we're gonna spin around to prograde and try to get orbit back. All right, there we go. So we're actually gonna get rid of that. We're gonna see if we can get that back. There we go. So it looks like our lowest is gonna be 173. Add maneuver and circularize. And bring ourselves to there. Go ahead and fast forward to there. Although I kind of want to see what would happen. I do have another engine, it looks like, which is decent. So that's about as low as we can get to this gas planet. And there's Kerbin. No, that's not. That's a moon. Disregard that. Making an emergency escape route. Oh, I mean, my escape route is trying not to fall into the gas planet. Although I kind of want to. I have to do it. We are reaching the end of the stream. I have to see what's below the clouds. It is a necessary thing to do. We do have that probe orbiting currently at a higher altitude. So that'll be good. Keep that at retro. So let's see if we can slow down enough to be able to. I mean, we're definitely there. We're definitely gonna go below the clouds, but I'd rather do it at a much lower speed, and I'll probably stage this out and use this engine. But I want to make sure I burn up all of the fuel before I do so. And my speed is burning off very slowly. So that weird little frame thing you see around all of this stuff is actually the visual mods doing that to it, which is okay. So we're going to burn off all this fuel, and then we're going to stage that out. We are on an encounter where we're definitely hitting whatever core this gas planet has. So I don't have to worry about debris hanging around. But I want to slow down just enough to be able to get underneath the cloud layer. Well, into the cloud layer. 180 seconds of burn time. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just because I don't want to wait 3 minutes for that to be done. Yep. We have an atmosphere that we're going through, that's for sure. Go ahead and turn that off. And let's go ahead and stage that out. Decouple. There we go. That's better. We have 1,127 seconds at 0.88 thrust to weight. That's pretty good. We're starting to sink down quite a bit, that's for sure. There's all sorts of weird movements going on there. We're slowing down to a better speed now. Try using RCS to slow down the craft. So I have whatever system is on this, I don't remember. But there are engines inside of this working overtime. So I'm going to ride this out because we're actually slowing down quite a bit. Thrust to weight ratio is going down somehow. Oh yeah, because we're getting closer. And the closer to the core you get, the slower or the faster you're gonna fall. Higher the gravity. But that's okay. Because there's no escape now. I can't escape this. I'm full thrust and I can't get away. I might actually make it to the bottom of the Joule or the limit. Oh, I'm 100% gonna make it there. It's just a matter of how many tens of thousands of meters per second I'm gonna end up going there, because I am starting to really get pulled down pretty hard. Thrust to weight ratio is dropping rapidly. I am at full thrust. There is no escape. And I'm gonna build the suspense by just lowering this slightly over here, just so the thunder isn't so loud, and then bouncing back over to here. Speed this up just a little bit. There we go. I gotta pull my chat up. There, now I can see you guys. It is a really cool way to end the stream. I didn't plan this at all. I just did a proof of concept launch of a stock rocket, and this kind of happened. clouds are where the Kraken is born. I think you're right. That's part of what I have for an idea for a video. Whoop. Well, there's that. 2.5 kilometers away already. Deploy shoot. The right bracket. I'm not too worried about it. It'll deploy. It's gonna deploy. $24,000 meters. I have no idea how I'm surviving this. This is definitely where the Krakens are born. %, where the Krakens are born. Yeah, I'd say she's probably having a blast. I have no idea where the bottom is though. Trying to just get down to the bottom and see if there is even a bottom. This is really cool though. That is for sure. However, I don't think I can actually make it to the bottom with the chute open. Well, I should not have pushed that button. Alright, so that was a heck of an adventure, and going deep inside of Jewel was actually kind of fun. That was a very interesting journey. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It does help a lot. Don't forget to hit the like and comment after the stream has ended, because the comments afterwards helps YouTube push it out even further. Uh, join the Discord. It's at the top of my channel, and I will see you on the next one.